The 10 things you need to do to deliver property investing business results. Hi, my name's Mark Fitzgerald, and it's fantastic to have you joining me here today on the Property Unleashed. So how do you get results from your property business? Well, if you follow my 10 steps here, you will put yourself on the right road to success. Now, it all starts at number 1 with goal setting. You have to have goals. You have to have a vision, but you have to have goals. Now make those goals big and bold. Make them as massive as you can to really inspire you, but make sure they're goals that you genuinely want to hit. That can sound silly, it can sound stupid. What do you mean? Of course I want to hit my goals. Listen, you've got to have passion for when times are hard. You've got to have commitment, you've got to have grit, okay? And trust me, in property and investing, people will tell you, oh, look at my numbers, look at this, look at that. It's hard work. That's why a lot of people start out on this journey and fail. You have got to get stuck in with a level of commitment that means that you have big goals, that excite you, that mean that you will keep going even when times are hard. So set your goals is number 1, but make them massive, make them scary and exciting at the same time. The next thing, number 2, I would say you have to get it done. You have to be willing to put the work in. Okay, as a great coach of mine once said, you cannot build anything behind your desk. Yes, we need to know the numbers. Yes, we need to do our due diligence. Yes, there is a time and a place for us to be sat down doing things at a desk, but you've got to be out there, particularly with property, shaking hands and meeting people. You've got to be out there. People do business with people at the end of the day. So you've got to make sure that you get yourself out there and you do business with other people. You shake hands, you build up the know, like, and trust. Do the work that maybe you feel uncomfortable doing and you will see great results, but make sure they are part of your goals. Number 3 is making sure that it's all aligned. No point going out there looking for a particular property strategy when you're actually wanting to do another property strategy. I see far too many people taking the shiny penny syndrome. So I see people saying, I want to do rent to rent, and then they start looking at buying commercial units. It's not in line. If you're doing something like rent to rent, you want to be looking at the HMO strategy or the serviced accommodation strategy, okay? Both of those, whilst our different strategies, are aligned because you're using rent to rent as a platform. You can look to do purchase lease options where you buy the property later on but lease it now, very much like a rent to rent. Again, all going down the same track. Or if you're looking at buying property and refurbishing property, flipping it, or even if you're keeping it to do the same thing, again, they're in line with each other. So make sure you are in line with your goals. You are taking the action that is in alignment with your goals, not to take you off of track. If you start going and chasing everything, you won't catch a thing. As the old saying goes, if you try and catch 2 rabbits, you won't catch one at all. So make sure you're focusing on your goals and that one thing that will get you there, and make sure it's all in line up together, okay? Number 4, it's all about being consistent. We have to be consistent in whatever it is we choose to do. Consistency is a key. Okay, if you ever thought, I'm going to bang on some doors, to find that key to open up those doors has to have consistency. Consistency will help you get there. Whatever result it is you want to get to, consistency will be that. It's repetition, doing the same old things, sending out the marketing letters, speaking to the agents, sending out the marketing letters, speaking to the agents, putting in offers, putting in deals, getting rejected, doing it again, sending out the marketing letters, speaking to the agents. Repetition all the time, consistent, doing things consistently, but in the right manner and knowing what you're doing. That's why sometimes it can be great to go out there and follow in other people's footsteps. Go on to thepropertyunleashed.com, download 10-step guides, download deal analyzers, look at the masterclasses. And if you want training and help and support, whether it's one-to-one coaching, whether it's help and guidance in rent-to-rent, serviced accommodation, it's all there. But equally, if it's not those things that you're looking for, look for the people that are currently doing what you want to do and then copy them. Be consistent in their approaches if they're getting the results, truly getting the results that you want. And all you have to do is follow it and just be consistent in your approach, and you cannot fail. So at number 5, which goes in line with being consistent, is being persistent. We have to be consistent with the right things, doing the right stuff all the time, but we have to be persistent in our approaches as well. We have to be persistent with our offers, and particularly with our follow-up. You've probably heard the saying, the money's in the follow-up. Well, that is so true when it comes to property. The money is in the follow-up, so you have to be persistent there. Consistency will get you there. Persistency will make you a winner, okay? In your follow-up, you have to keep sending emails, you have to keep ringing people until they physically either say to you, it's not going to happen, no, leave me alone. Other than that, you've got to keep hounding them, but in a good way, not in a bad way. You've got to keep following up with them. You've got to keep being persistent in the approaches that you're putting there. And again, if you've got somebody that you're following or you're working with and they can tell you how to be persistent in the right manners and in the right way to actually get your results rather than annoying people, then do it. And if you feel a little bit uncomfortable following up with people and things like that, you're probably doing it right. If you're not feeling uncomfortable, then you're not following up enough. But remember again, persistency will make you a winner. I have been constantly consistent and persistent in my approaches to get the results that I've wanted in my property businesses. And of course, you can do the same thing too. So at number 6, it's all about not giving up. You only fail when you stop. So don't stop. You know what I mean? If you don't want to fail at anything, don't stop. If you do something and it doesn't work, it's a learning. You've learned how not to do something, don't do it again, okay? But you have to keep going. Again, I work with a lot of people who start off all motivated, all fired up, and then they realize it's hard, okay? It is hard. Anything that you want to do that's worth your time, worth your effort, is going to be hard. Otherwise, everybody would sit back and just do it and make it happen. So make sure that you know it's going to be hard. It's going to be a journey, and you're going to have to fight hammer and tongue to create the life and everything that you want. But you're not going to give up. You are going to keep going, and you are going to get the results that you want. So don't give up. At number 7, we want to be making sure that we can break our goals down. Okay, so we're going to have these big, massive goals, and it can be easy, too easy to actually get overcome with fear, with not feeling that you can achieve your goals, that you can actually get out there and do what it is you want, because it just seems too far away. It seems too difficult. It seems like it's going to take forever. So we have to start breaking those down. And that is where I like a 3-month plan. I like a 90-day plan, okay? I'll look at one of my big goals that maybe I've got a 5-year goal or a 12-month goal, but I'll break it down into bite-sized chunks. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's exactly the same with your big goals. You just need to start breaking them down, and don't have them too far out into the distance, I find. If you've got a 12-month goal, try and break it down into a 6-month goal or even a 3-month goal, okay? Just start being consistent and persistent in your approach. Break down your goals into bite-sized chunks and tasks that you can do consistently and persistently, day after day, week after week, and they will, in turn, over time, give you the results that you want. Number 8 is accept disappointment, okay, and setbacks as part of the process. It's not part of the plan, but it will be part of the process to actually getting and building the life that you want. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to be turned down. You're going to be told no. You might even be ridiculed. You'll have people, naysayers out there, saying that you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be wasting your time with this. You're not good enough to do this. You're not smart enough to do this. You're not, you're just not the right person. It's not going to happen for you. It's just for those lucky few out there. You're going to have that. And you're going to have disappointment. You're going to put offers in. You're going to expect a deal to go over the line and then all of a sudden have it snatched away from you. It's all part of a process, okay? Property and business is a numbers game. You have to know your numbers, okay? So you have to know that there's going to be disappointment there. You may go out there. You may speak to a landlord. You may speak to an agent. You may get a deal straight away and thinking, what's he on about? This is easy. But at some point, you will have setbacks and you will have disappointment. You just have to realize everybody has it. I've had loads of it and I actually embrace it now and know that it's a step closer. Every setback or disappointment that I have, I know takes me a step closer to getting the results that I desire. Okay, so every time I go and do a deal and maybe I just don't bid enough on it, or it doesn't go quite my way, or I just don't get it, somebody else has got it, I know for a fact that A, it's a learning, and B, it's another stepping stone of moving forward. As we always say, go for no when you're trying to do deals and things like that. If you put an offer in for a deal and it's accepted straight away, you've offered too much. There was a bit more wiggle room in that deal. So go for no. Let somebody say no. But just remember, no doesn't mean no. It just means not now. So just take it with a pinch of salt, because at the end of the day, if you put an offer in for something now and they say no, it's not going to happen, don't want to deal with you, fair enough. Follow up with them, because you just don't know how much more motivated they could be in the future. We are looking to help people. Always in property, you want to be looking for a win-win situation. A win for you, a win for the landlord, agent, or whoever it is that you're in business with. If it's a win for one party and not the other, it's a no deal for me. It has to be a win-win for both parties. So make sure that you're going in with that attitude, because when you put that into your head and you go in with that attitude, you cannot fail. You will be passionate. You will be driven. Why? Because you know you're doing a good thing for somebody. Not only are you helping grow your own business, but you're doing a good deed to help somebody else as well. And that is massive. That can help drive you, particularly when you have disappointment and you have setbacks. Number 9, and I love number 9, express your ambition. Okay, you've got your big goals. You know what it is you want to be doing. You know what the future holds for you because you've drawn it out, you've planned it out, you've mapped it, you've journaled it, or you should be. You need to start talking it into reality. You need to start expressing what it is you're trying to achieve and do with family, with friends, with anybody who will listen. If you cannot talk into existence the future you want, I bet you any money it won't come. It will not come your way. You need to be talking as if you've already achieved it. And that can feel weird, it can feel silly, and it can be very difficult to do in the beginning, because when you haven't got anything, it's very difficult to try and talk about something. But you have to say to somebody, when they say to you, what is it you're trying to do? For me, I was building a rent-to-rent business. I'm going to build a rent-to-rent business that replaces my income. And it's a business that I can systemize and I can have running for me, not necessarily with me doing all the running around in it. What did I do? I spoke it into existence. I built it. It did take me time to do so, and it will take you time as well. But follow the processes, follow the systems, follow somebody else that's already done it, and build it into whatever it is you want to do as well. We're now buying properties. We're now renovating properties. We're doing properties up. Okay, that was always the bigger plan for me, was to buy the property, was to build the legacy piece, which is what I talk about as well. So the long-term future for me was to buy assets, add value to those assets, keep them, rent them out, building up the cash flow alongside my rent-to-rent business. And that is what I do now. That is what we're focused on in 2023. We are buying properties and we are renovating them and we are building a portfolio up, and we are working with investors. We are working with investors' money, making it a win-win for them as well. They can come in, they can see what we're doing, they can learn what we're doing, they get a return on their money, they get their money back to them, and we go again. And a lot of those investors now just keep wanting to reinvest in our projects as they know that we deliver and they know that we do a good job. But again, it's all come through talking about it, talking it into existence. So make sure you are not keeping your great future to yourself. You are talking about it. And if people ridicule you or put it down, Don't keep talking to those guys and girls at the end of the day. Talk to people who will be positive with you. Get out there, network with people, like-minded people that appreciate what you're saying, that will, if you like, put an arm around your shoulder and just say, yes, I tell you what, that's a great idea. Get yourself out there and do it, because I know somebody that has already done that. You speak to people about property in the UK, and at the end of the day, depending on how the market's going, they'll say, oh, property's a safe bet. You never lose money in property. Or if the market's a little bit turbulent, like we've got at the moment, they'll say, that's risky. Property is so risky. It goes up and down. At the moment, the prices are crazy, but the market's going to drop. If you buy at the wrong time, you'll be out of money. These are people that don't know what they're doing, and you don't want to take advice from people that don't know what they're doing. They could be family members. They could be loved ones. They're just trying to help you. They're just trying to support you. They're just trying to look out for you. That is fine. But if you know and you are knowledgeable, and I always say be the property professional of your area. And what do I mean by that? Go out there, learn about the market, learn what's working in the market, because each and every area is slightly different. Different tenant types, different housing demands. There's different strategies that will work a little bit better here or there. But in general, what I have found up and down the country, and I invest in the north and I invest in the south, because it works. It works anywhere. You just need to know what you're doing. And that is the simple facts of it. So make sure that you talk it into existence. What are your goals? Tell yourself what your goals are. Journal them, write them down, and share it with people. And if nothing else, if you really struggle with this, when you first start, is journal it down and just read it back to yourself every day. So lastly, the 10th item on the agenda is you have to remain focused. You have to remain laser focused in your task, in your goals, in moving yourself forward, in setting yourself up for success, in being consistent, in being persistent, in making sure that you put yourself out there. You have to go into anything, i.e. building a property business of any type, with 100% certainty that you will not stop, that you will not fail. You will have setbacks. You will have disappointment. And it's all part and parcel of the journey. It's all part and parcel of the learning. If you do something and you lose some money, okay, that's a lot of people's biggest fear. I don't want to lose any money. You lose some money. Think of it as a training exercise at the end of the day. Maybe you lost a couple of grand. Maybe you got some architects to draw up some plans, or you got a surveyor out and it cost you a few £100, but in the end you didn't get the property. Hey, it's all a learning at the end of the day. It's training. So you've paid for a bit of training. You've learned that that method maybe didn't work, or you've looked at something there and just seen how maybe not to do it again next time. It's all part and parcel of training. I always pay for training because it's priceless at the end of the day. It can never be taken away from me. So make sure that you're laser focused. You're in it for the long haul. No matter what the setbacks, you will win. You will succeed. And if you do that, you will win and you will succeed. Trust me on that one. So obviously, as always, as I like to say, feel free to reach out to me on social media, Instagram, Facebook. You will see my profiles. I will never message you first, but feel free to message me. And either my team will see it and I'll get back to you, or they'll get back to you, but on my behalf. But they will tell you that it's not currently me. But we are there all the time. You can reach out to us on email. You can visit thepropertyunleashed.com for free tools and resources. You can come and join our programs, join our Facebook groups. We are a like-minded community looking to help and support anybody out there who's getting involved in property. And it's not just rent to rent. It's not just HMOs. It's not just serviced accommodation. If you're looking at buying properties, or you're renovating properties, or maybe you own some properties and they're just not making you enough money, come and talk to me. Come and talk to the community and we will help you in a like-minded manner. And that is my 10 things to help deliver you property business success in 2023, 2024, 2025, depending on when you're listening to this. But you stick with those 10 things, you will be better equipped than about 90% of other investors out there. If you just act on each of these, if you note these down, you keep them in a journal, keep them in a notepad, you just make sure that you know this. Because I tell you what, as you maybe are starting out on your property journey, or maybe you've already started and you're well into it, But if you note down these 10 actions and items that we've covered here today, then I bet you can tick some of those off. If you've been in property a while, you'll be able to tick some of those off and say, yep, I'm still here because I'm doing these actions. These actions will help you, they will work, but you need to be mindful of them. It's not all sunshine and roses when it comes to building a business. It's not all sunshine and roses when it comes to property investing either. No matter what anybody else is telling you, if they're telling you it's easy, if you can go out there, get a couple of properties and go and sit on a beach, they are feeding you a lie. It's hard work. It's blood, sweat and tears, and a lot of tears at times. But I tell you what, I'm not trying to put you off. It is rewarding as well. You've got to put the work in, but once you have and you've started to systemize your own property business, and this is why I always say, have a property business, you can build it, you can scale it, and you can grow it, and then you can outsource it. So you can get to the part where you can go and sit on the beach. That's pretty boring at the end of the day. But if that's your thing, go and do it, because that's your goal. Your goal is to sit on the beach with a laptop or whatever like that and just let the money roll in. But you have got to put the work in to do so, and it will be hard work. And the one thing with property is it'll always be a bit of work there at the end of the day, okay? It'll never be a set and completely ever forget, unless you're in partnership with somebody else and they're the ones that are actually going to do all of that work for you. So make sure that you do understand these 10 property business success tips and that you incorporate them into your property investing. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it to you. If you have, then please feel free to like it, subscribe, leave a comment, give it a 5-star review, and share it with anybody else who you think could really benefit from this. I have really enjoyed, as I've said, having you join me on this episode, and I will see you in the next episode. So make sure you have your vision, you've got your goals, and you're focused on your goals. You've broke them down into bite-sized chunks and you're taking action on those. If you are, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.